Good afternoon, dear all. So in a few seconds, we will start our live session with our guest designer, Marina Hughes. Very insightful conversation. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes?
Hello, hello.
So let's proceed. Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to this exclusive Castro Lighting Design Community conversation. Today, we are honored to welcome a very special guest, a visionary designer and cherished Castro's client whose work transcends trends and time, creating interiors that are not only visually striking, but deeply meaningful. So please join us and welcome the award-winning designer Marina Hughes, the founder of Marina Hughes Interiors, and one of the most exciting voices in British luxury interiors today. Marina, you're warmly welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's such a great honor. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're ready to start, right?
Yes, I'm sure.
So now we will reflect on your design journey and also creative insights as professional, and later on about collaboration with Castro Lighting. So
Amazing.
the question is, what inspired you to become a designer?
Um, it's the whole life journey. I've been a very creative child through all my life. I've tried all creativity, start with the ballet dancing, ice skating, art school, making dresses. My dream was to become a fashion designer. That was my dream, but living in 90s, it was quite a hard, challenging time. So I had to follow more my parents' dreams or what they felt is more right for me rather than what I wanted to do. Um, but the art school of 4 years sort of helped me because it was such a broad education, and I actually managed to dedicate and did it for 4 years every day after school. Could you imagine a child of 14 a dedication to do that? And this art school is just covers so many aspects of art, like from drawing, sculptural making, learning different techniques of pencil drawing, charcoal drawing, oil paint, all sorts of things. So it's really probably opened my mind to so many directions where I could go and learn what I like, but probably in a way sort of spoiled me because I like doing it all. And that's sort of just sort of feel that's why I really enjoyed my job being a designer, because one day I'm just doing technical drawings. The other day I'm just looking at fabrics. The other day I'm traveling on site and get, dirty hands by, helping. And it's so versatile and I love it. And I think it's just, I was looking for a profession that could fulfill all my sort of desires, and I think I found it.
Wow, it sounds really inspiring. So, but can we say that fashion actually influenced your choice to become a designer? And nowadays, does it still have the impact on your aesthetics as a designer?
I would say so, yes. I really love fabrics, I really love textures. I look at the shapes and estimate what will suit this shape. Because for me, the house, it's like a human body, right? The same thing could not be implemented or suit everyone, right? Some people could look great in this hat and some people just wouldn't work for them. Same as the houses, I feel, and the shape of a room, like lots of aspects, it's like a fashion. You have to find the item or you have to design something that will suit it, that will work for it. And I think that's why it's probably the connection between interior design and the fashion design is probably quite, similar things.
Marina, this is very insightful regarding like if comparing interior design with fashion, and it's like house with human body, and that it does not fit everything to everyone. So this is like huge, and to me it's so insightful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What sparks your creativity and fuels your design vision nowadays? And does it change with time?
Obviously, everything changes nowadays and so fast, but I think the human emotions and storytelling is that what we always probably will carry with us through generations, right?
Yeah.
And I feel that a great design, it evokes the feeling, how we feel. It's again like amazing dress, yeah, of, I don't know, Queen Elizabeth. Everyone is still inspired by it, and like, or some of Princess Diana dresses, right? They're timeless, they're
Timeless.
beautiful, everyone want them, but because they reflect so her personality, reflect, you know, the shape of her body, it works so well. And it's the same with the interiors, like interiors of the famous, I don't know, palaces, houses, you know, they are timeless and makes people inspired and feel the beauty of it for so many years. And that is, I think my goal is to bring the story into the home, more concentrate on a feeling of people. And it could be, the story could be told through color, textures, lots of aspects, but I would say it's emotion and storytelling is the key elements.
Wow. So after all, how do you want people feel when they experience your creative design work?
Well, firstly, I want people firstly to be engaged. I want them to be open with me. I want them to tell what they like, what they want, what's their vision, because, you know, I'm not a mind reader. As more communication we have, as more I'll know about my clients, is the best the deliverables will be.
Okay. Uh, when you reflect on your like design journey, so can you say that you have one favorite interior style that attracts you, or it doesn't matter actually? When you see the space, when you have this interview with clients, so then you can decide, or you have one favorite of all times.
I don't have a favorite at all. I'm My experiences run through so many styles, and I've been involved in such a versatile projects that I probably could say create any style that suits my client's personality, style, likes, budget, and things like this. I look at the client, I look what they want, I look at the property, I look what this property deserves and what could make it, you know, life and last for so many years. And that's what sort of guides me and strives me to create the design. I don't have a favorite style. It's the hardest way to design for myself. I never can do that. Never can make a choice for myself,
Yeah,
ever.
indeed. To like a lot of stuff that influences actually your design choice in choosing the interior style, right? After all. And
Yes, exactly. It's and now it's nowadays the styles are so mixed up. We like to bring an antiques into design and a bit of historical elements of maybe some of people's possessions and things like this. So it's very hard to really identify and say my design is that style. It's very hard because people want different things, and again, say for example we have to match the style of husband and wife, again you have to, you know, listen to both of the parties, or there's so many international families nowadays, isn't it? And you have to bring two cultures into their home, so how to do that? You can't just say, yeah, that's just a classical style or country style. You have to be flexible.
oh, like again, very insightful. But
Thank you.
if we think about this year, like we have a lot of changes, even after COVID and everything, and like time flies, trends change every month, every year. Can you name top three interior styles that are popular this year or mixed of styles?
Well, we're seeing lots of eclectic styles. That's people using lots of different textures, bright colors. They're not afraid of bringing, very unusual shapes into their homes within artwork or fabrics and finishes. Um, Lots of antiques is coming back. Probably people follow the idea of, we have to really be mindful of, our planet and producing more new things. We have to recycle as many things as possible. That's sort of also a big trend. And classical contemporary is always, I think it's always will be on people's mind, and they will always like it, especially within London properties and things like this. It's quite a sort of more following classical, timeless pieces.
Yes. Well, it's nice, kind of nice to hear those, and of course about timeless pieces, about recycling. This is very inspiring, at least to us. So, what are your top styling tips that you can share um, with our audience today?
I would say for me, less is more.
Okay.
Uh, the key element, firstly, for me always is the space planning. Go more for a really statement, large scale pieces. But again, you do have to look at the proportion in the room. And I always love lighting. For me, light is like a sculpture in the room. Go bold, don't go for these small diddly lights that you can buy in any retail shops. Go big, be brave,
Yeah.
create a sculpture. It's better to have one amazing piece in your house and more plain, walls and finishes, and that will be more powerful, I feel.
Yeah, great. So, as far as I understood, it's also pretty much about self-expression through design as much as through fashion, through clothes. So it's the same like self-expression, but through the interior design. It's it's fantastic actually. How can we implement those knowledges into this?
Yeah, 100%. Like if you look at the any red carpet, say for example, lots of celebrities wear this quite a sculptural, isn't it? Quite architectural dresses. And then you will see that the dress is a piece of art itself. It will be less jewelry on, less diamonds, or like, that's things. That's more focus goes on one item rather than everything. And that's what's also inspiring for me. It's best to have a really statement piece in the house, and everything have to complement it rather than everything speaks loudly to you.
Yeah, awesome. This is really. And what about your greatest challenge so far? How did you overcome it? And if you had it, so also share some insights about this.
Do you mean challenge at work?
Challenge at work,
With the
maybe daily routine, or maybe any other like challenge during the interior design project that you develop, like from the sketch to the end. It would be really interesting to hear your thoughts on it.
Oh, it's always challenging sometimes to get the brief out of the client, because lots of people just they they're struggling to express what they want. I'll be honest, they're struggling to express, and you have to ask very specific questions, be more not a mind reader, but read their body language, read what people like, what they're wearing, ask some questions where they like to travel, what wine they like to drink. You know, that could tell lots about their personalities. And I trying to learn about them, listen, and then to reflect it within our interiors and design, but also guide them and show them, push the boundaries. I always tell to my clients, I will push the boundaries. I will push you to something new, innovative, interesting, something that maybe other designers or less offered to the clients. And I feel the reason for it for me is to create firstly a bespoke design for the clients, but also show them there's so many possibilities of this world. I said, if you could do it yourself, you would. You don't need me. My job is to open your eyes, is to give you something you do not expect. And I think that is sometimes is a challenge, is to make them to see that vision of yours as well. Yeah, and I always struggle sometimes with the night sleep because of lots of ideas coming in my head. You like, and I've got like a little notepad by my bedside, so I got up and I write like a to-do list. And if I'll write it down or on a phone, just send myself like an email to-do list, then I can fall asleep. I really have to follow my sleep pattern.
So journaling is also a key in your work, in interior design work, right?
Oh, it's always a key. So always the Friday ends up with a to-do list for Monday. Monday day starts with looking through this to-do list, prioritize the tasks, what's urgent, what's not, but then always something else coming in. And by Friday, this list has to be finished, or maybe some tasks are for a couple of weeks of work, but it's constantly keeping the schedule of your work. It's challenging but doable.
Nice, thank you. So, as we already spoke regarding current interior design and styling trends, we revealed some impressions and favorite tips. We already spoke about sculptural trends, which is really interesting and insightful. So, to your mind, which lighting trends do you see gaining popularity nowadays and will still be gaining popularity later on? Or is just temporary, or it's timeless? Like, share your thoughts on the lighting trends 2005 that are
Was the main lighting trend now is, you know, to create this layered lighting. We need to create the different moods that people could use throughout their day or week or months. We not always need a bright lighting when we, you know, relaxing in the living room. So predominantly we're trying not to use as many spotlights at all. We like to use lamps or indirect LED lighting, lots of low-level lighting features. Again, a very sculptural chandeliers or interesting shape table lamps, floor lamps, that they become a feature in the room as well, but also have a lighting function. Yeah, so it's just really trends. I'm not really a trendy person. I
okay.
should say. I'm not trying to copy people. I don't like trends, but like a classical chandelier is a classical chandelier, isn't it? So it does look fantastic in any period property. And a sculptural lighting. So being in Milan this year, we've seen the trends of more very sculptural lighting, the lighting again that not just hangs off the ceiling, for example. That's what we normally used to see. It's say, for example, the light or sculptural light that could travel along the wall into the ceiling to create this, you know, amazing feature, but also produces some sort of lighting effects. So lots of trends like that. Or very minimalistic lighting that gives you that just lighting effect. or
Yeah.
points somewhere. You can't really see the fixing, but it points to a specific, I don't know, artwork or sculpture in a room. So very discreet. Lots of it is, you know, more like a retail type of lighting is used now in home interiors. They're very tiny, they're invisible, but they gives this amazing lighting effect, like on a display of, you know, something in your shelves or in your dressing room, in your kitchen. So yeah, we use lots of things like that as well.
This is actually really inspiring because it's not only important, or I mean, not only about following the trends, but sometimes it's about setting the trends or just revealing the personality of the home, of the project. Well, so if you give one piece of expert advice to your young self, what would it?
Just follow your dreams, be bold, go for it, don't be afraid. It's better to make a mistake rather than feel sorry what it will be like if I haven't tried it. Yeah, that's probably just do what you want to do, but do it wisely.
Yeah, this
Have
is
a plan, not just do what, you know, have a plan of action. You need to have a plan to, you know, how you get from A to B, or put yourself one step, then achieve it, then what's the next. So I always give myself new goals every year.
great. Great.
Any more questions?
I'm so sorry, just the sound disappeared for a few seconds. So, yes. So, thank you so much. Those like replies were very inspiring, very insightful. I hope that our audience also enjoys our conversation. And now we will proceed about collaboration with Castro Lighting.
Okay.
Okay, so describe Castro Lighting in 3 words.
I would say it's quite bold, intricate, and distinctive.
Okay, wow, great. Which Castro Lighting collection is your favorite and why?
Always love the twist and Triumph. I would say Triumph is wall lights is will be my favorite.
Okay, can you reveal a little bit more about your choice?
Well, Triumph for me, it's about the statement. So these wall lights, I feel they're very sculptural. They indirect. They create this indirect lighting that you cannot see the light bulbs, which is makes it very sort of interesting. It's the combination of textures of like a smooth brush textures with a hammered effect. I always love, you know, its uniqueness in that way, and the way that's it's a very large sort of light fitting, or it got a couple of modules, I believe. So you can use the correct proportion where you need. So for me, the wall light always needs to be a presence in the room. It needs to create this presence, not necessarily a light effect itself, you know. So it has to have a sculptural presence, and
Yeah,
that's why I love it. And we used it on several projects.
wow, this is impressive. If you
Thank
had to
you.
choose one signature piece from Castro Lighting, just one signature piece, which would it makes you?
That will be my Triumph wall light. I believe it's 9342 code. I do remember sometimes my codes. Yeah.
Okay. And about finishes, for example, what would you choose? The combination of finishes.
We've done this Triumph wall light in polished nickel finish, which is great because nickel is warmer than a chrome and it's so reflective. And it's great to put it quite in a neutral interiors because it's so reflective, it starts to reflect other finishes in the room, and sometimes you can see it's blue colors coming through, sometimes greens, depends what's around it. It's like a warm mirror sort of and reflects everything. or brushed oxidized finish. I believe it's more like that sort of a bronze, but I love this brushed effect that goes through it. That's what makes it feel that it's handmade, which it is, and that someone put their artistic hand application of this finish into the wall light. So for me, it becomes like a piece of art,
Yeah.
not just something that's been sprayed or dipped into the chemical, to get this reaction. It's actually that someone spent the time, creating it by hand. That is quite sort of unique and special.
Okay, thank you so much. So what do you value most in Castro's creations? We already mentioned some points, so maybe you have something to add about your values in creations, or just anything, your reflection of the designs.
What, on the Castro Lighting designs?
Yes.
Sorry, could you repeat the question again? I was slightly lost.
So what do you value the most in Castro's designs?
Oh, right. Sorry, I think I've missed the word value.
Fine.
I would say it's probably the seamless of like this artistic design and uniqueness of the shapes you introduce into lighting. You're looking at a light as a sculpture, not just a source of a light itself. Each piece feels like more like a statement rather than an element. Um, I love that you put your passion into work you do, and that's always reflects the end product. That's, the feelings and the emotions that people put in their creations.
Yeah.
I feel it's always important. Um, it's always attention to every little detail. So many finishes to choose from, textures, colors. Yeah, I would say that's the values that are really, that's why you stood out for us amongst the other suppliers, and it's always very lovely and easy to deal with.
Marina, thank you so much. Your feedback is very precious and very.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. How would you describe your experience collaborating with Castro?
um we're working for a couple of years now. It's always been quite consistent. Again, I'll repeat, it's a good responses. We all, we've got our sales representative from Castro, Paolo, that he is always on my WhatsApp. We always sometimes even wish each other happy Friday or good week ahead. So it's a very, sometimes you start to build this, good friendship, personal relationship, right? And that's, you feel like you can trust people, and and they trust you. We always open and honest and very quick to action or solve any problems or issues. It's been always incredibly helpful, and that's what we value, is honesty and help.
Thank you so much, Marina. So, as we mentioned before,
Yeah.
that your favorite pieces are Triumph and Twist. So, tell us about your project featuring Castro Lighting creations that you are really especially proud of. Is that your favorite pieces?
Probably yes, because we sort of used them for a couple of projects, and we've seen how this twist, say, chandelier works perfectly with Triumph lighting. I believe it's because of that sort of maybe diagonal cut and this diagonal, like a sculptural element that you've introduced, worked well. The project that we've done a couple of years ago in Surrey, yeah, residence. We use both of these pieces. You can see the images on our website or Instagram. And again, we just love it. It creates this wow effect that doesn't look like any other light, you know. It's a statement pieces.
Yeah.
And it's really suited the internal architecture of the house, because it was double or even triple height vaulted ceilings. And client was firstly so worried that the twist chandelier, because I believe it's like 2.4 meters drop, will just fill the whole space. And I said, absolutely not. We've done lots of sketches. Sometimes it's very helpful for client to understand the proportion of what we're proposing. And we showed that the proportion of this light will be perfect. We've made lots of sketches and we looked at all other lots of options. At the end, the client agreed to our proposal. And when we installed it, the client said, I cannot believe it doesn't look that big. I said, okay, we can go bigger next time.
Wow. So actually,
Everyone is always so afraid. Yeah, afraid to use big lighting, but they shouldn't be. That will be your wow factor.
wow, this is really wow factor. Just even listening to this, it's just wow factor actually.
Thank you.
Yes. Marina, thank you so much once again. This conversation was beyond than inspiring, beyond than insightful. We would like to have more questions and ask more questions, but we're in time.
Yeah.
Though we would like to our audience if they have some interesting questions about your work or any other. So we are pretty open to receive those questions from the audience in case they have them. So we will just wait a little bit. Let's see. Meantime, I warmly invite you to follow Marina's profile on Instagram. Check her work. They are very inspiring. They are fantastic. Follow Castro Lighting on different social media platforms as well to stay inspired and stay updated to our work. Okay, so no questions so far. At least I don't see them. They're just okay. Good point. Hello, great session. Thank you so much. Great session. Okay, just compliments from the audience, which is not.
Which is great. It's like we're really grateful and thankful. It's my ever live interview, and I believe yours as well. And I think we did really well. And I hope we'll save this interview, and hopefully people who couldn't join us today will see it later. And yeah, we're just really grateful, and hopefully it was interesting, and it was interesting new information for someone, and just maybe to learn more about the Castro and us as well. That will.
Yes. Likewise, Marina. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So we actually warmly invite you to see our live session, our design community conversation with Marina later on. We will save this live and we will be happy to receive any questions and we'll be happy to reply. So show your interest and stay tuned for more. Thank you so much, Marina.
Thank you so much. Everyone have a lovely day.
Likewise. Have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.